Big win in Foxborough, Massachusetts, as the Rams moved to 500 against the New England Patriots. But now it's a massive showdown with the Philadelphia Eagles at SoFi Stadium under the lights. Sunday Night Football. The playmakers in the building, and this is Ramily Talk, and it starts right now.
Maybe you from the 1970s, when the Los Angeles Rams was known as the Prison Foursome because of that defensive line. Or maybe you in the city of St. Louis, the gateway to the Midwest, where the greatest show on turf brought home the first ever Super Bowl championship. Or maybe you in the here and now, with the Rams back in LA, winners of Super Bowl 56. You can rock Eric Dickerson. You can rock Marshall Faulk, Isaiah Bruce, and Kurt Warner. Or maybe you rocking Cooper Cup, Aaron Donald, and Matthew Stafford. It doesn't matter, because when it comes to this, it's all about the Los Angeles Rams. Horns up, Rams South. Time to talk Rams football.
Good day, Ram Nation. How y'all doing? How's the Ramily doing out there today? The playmakers in the building. Yes, I am here for another edition of Ramily Talk. All right, on this November 21st, 2024, a lovely Thursday. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Hope you had a great week. But we're here to talk Rams football. But before we get started, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, appreciate you. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. So anytime we post content, you'll know what we're doing here at the Playmakers Blog Sports Network. Also, if you listen to the audio, it's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and whatever else you get your podcasts at. So feel free to check in the Remington anytime you want to. On today's episode, we're going to recap a good win out in Foxborough over the New England Patriots, and then we're going to preview a massive showdown at SoFi Stadium Sunday Night Football. Yes, the Rams are back in prime time yet again. That's what we got on tap for you. But first order of business here, we got some news and notes for you. So go back real quick. Let's go through our news and notes. First, Toy Hawk among 25 modern era players, semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2025. Now, those of you who are new to Ramily Talk might get information from Stu Jackson. So here's what he put in this article. Former Rams wide receiver Torrey Holt is one of the 25 modern era players finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2025. That's the Hall of Fame announced on Wednesday. It marks Holt's 11th time as a semi-finalist. He is one of 5 wide receivers who are semi-finalists for the upcoming class. So we are here again. We was here last year. We was here the year before, trying to get Torrey Holt into the Hall of Fame to complete the greatest show on turf team. Kurt Warner's already in the Hall of Fame. Marshall Falk is already in the Hall of Fame. Isaac Bruce went to the Hall of Fame 2 years ago, 2 3 years ago, somewhere around that time. Um, Orlando Pace is in the Hall of Fame. Be dismissing Torrey Holt. Complete the greatest show on turf, NFL. That's all you got to do. Complete the greatest show on turf. We know the numbers that Torrey Holt put up for us, but just in case y'all want to know, Torrey Holt tallied 920 career receptions for 13,382 yards and 74 touchdowns in 11 NFL seasons. 10 of those 11 NFL seasons was played with the back then St. Louis Rams. He recorded 8 straight seasons of 80 or more catches and 1,000 yards or more receiving yards during his Rams tenure. He had a career high 117 catches for 1,796 yards and 12 touchdowns back in 2023, standing out as amongst them all. He was named AP First Team All Pro that year. That man had 6 consecutive seasons with 1,300 yards or more, a Super Bowl champion. He has done a lot of good things. But those of you who want to know who else is part of this 25 semifinalists for the Hall of Fame along with Torrey Holt, you have cornerback Eric Allen, defensive end Jared Allen, offensive tackle Willie Anderson, wide receiver Anquan Bolden, offensive guard Jahi Evans, tight end Antonio Gates, linebacker James Harrison, safety Rodney Harrison, the aforementioned Torrey Holt at wide receiver, linebacker Luke Kuechly, quarterback Eli Manning, defensive end / edge rusher linebacker Robert Mathis, wide receiver Steve Smith Sr., defensive end and stud Terrell Suggs, wide receiver Hines Ward, running back Fred Taylor, defensive back Earl Thomas, who we know very well from the Legion of Boom days up in Seattle, kicker Adam Vinatieri, running back Ricky Waters, wide receiver Reggie Rain, offensive tackle Richmond Reb, defensive tackle Vince Wilford, safety Darren Woodson, offensive guard Steve Winowski, and offensive guard / tackle Marshall Yonda. That's a pretty interesting list, if I do say so myself. Hopefully, Torrey Holt can get in this one, but it's gonna be interesting because when I see the names like a Steve Smith Sr., when I see names like a Jared Allen, when I see names like Luke Kuechly, James Harrison, Hines Ward, Earl Thomas, or Fred Taylor, quarterback Eli Manning, 2 Super Bowl championships, both over Tom Brady. It's gonna be interesting to see who they select as finalists for the class of 2025. But all of us in the Rams Nation are on one accord here. We want Torrey Holt in the Hall of Fame. Complete our greatest show on turf. Please. We ask and beg of you, NFL. Complete the greatest show on turf. You won't have to worry about this no more. You put Torrey Holt in 2025, the greatest show on turf is complete. You have both wide receivers, the running back, the quarterback, and the one offensive lineman. That's it. That's all we ask for. Complete the greatest show on turf. The greatest show will never be completed until Torrey Holt is in the Hall of Fame. That's all. All right. From there, we go to something that's going to happen Sunday. Party like it's 1999. Rams to celebrate 25th anniversary of Super Bowl 34 victory on Sunday night. 25 years ago, the Rams and their prolific offense took the NFL by storm and made history with a 23-16 win in Super Bowl 34, winning over the Tennessee Titans. A victory sealed by a Game 7 defensive stop. This weekend, Sunday Night Football, the Rams and their partners will celebrate the iconic team through special events and activations, culminating with Sunday Night Football's matchup with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm looking forward to this. More than 20 members of the 1999 team will be in attendance throughout the weekend, including Hall of Famers Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk, Orlando Pace, and Kurt Warner, along with Torrey Holt and Mike Jones, among many others. This is great. I'm looking forward to this. This should be a good thing right here. This should be a good thing because 25 years ago is when we won our first Super Bowl, and then all the way up to the past 3 years, we won our second back in 2021, 56. So we got two Lombardies. The first one was in 1999, the greatest show on turf. It says here that Torrey Holt and Orlando Pace will join Warner on NFL's game day morning, which is right across the street from SoFi Stadium, to kick off that celebration. So to kick off game day, Torrey Holt and Orlando Pace will appear on NFL's NFL game day morning in studio at Hollywood Park, joining their former quarterback Kurt Warner for a segment in the 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time hour. So that'll be 12 o'clock on the East Coast. Those of you who want to know, there will be Edwards Life Science Breakfast and learn more on heart health. That will be going on as well. Legends give back at a place called Home with Abelson's Vaughn Pavilions. Do you have that? And then party like it's 1999 for Sunday night football. Got a whole list of crew here. I'm not going to go through the list, but we know the main people: Kurt Warner, Orlando Pace, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt will be in attendance, Marshall Faulk. So, which that would be great. So I'm looking forward to this. This should be a good thing to have with the Los Angeles Rams as we prepare for a massive game, a very, very massive game against the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Now let's move on. Let's preview what happened. Let's review what took place last week. We had to take a trip to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots after a gut wrenching and disappointing loss on Monday Night Football against the Miami Dolphins, in which I'm going to admit, yes, some things got broken last week's show because the frustration of losing to the Miami Dolphins and the fashion that we did. Yes, some things got broken, but they will be repaired and fixed nevertheless. But yes, those of you who are wondering about last week's episode, yes, something did get broken. Okay, unfortunately, but hey, things happen when you're mad and pissed off, and that's what the Rams put me through, losing to Miami the way that they did. But now we had to go to Frostburg. We had to get back on track. We had to take care of business, which the Rams did. 28-22 victory for the Los Angeles Rams. Should have been more than that because you let New England come back after you had them down 28 to, I want to say it was 28-13. And you let them come back. They was down 15. You let them score 9 unanswered points before you ultimately ended the game. With that being said, 402 yards of total offense for the Rams. No turnovers by the team. The offense played very efficient football. No turnovers. 382 yards for New England Patriots. They had 2 turnovers. They held the ball longer than us. That's how efficient the Rams were when they had the ball. Very efficient. When you have that much discrepancy in time of possession, like you see here, 37-20 for the New England Patriots to 22-40 for the Rams. One team is making things happen quickly and being efficient about it, and the other team is trying to find themselves. So I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna say the Rams had let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Roughly not 10 possessions with 1, 2, 3, 4. Half of them not ending in points. That includes a missed field goal by Josh Carty, which is getting a little interesting now. He started off well, but he's a little shaky as a lady. He missed a 26-yard field goal. That's never good when you miss from 26, Carty. I mean, we're gonna need you to get back right. You're a rookie, so we're gonna give you some grace as a rookie, but we're gonna need you to find your rhythm again because we're going into week 12 now. Okay, we only got 6 more games, and then 5 more games after we play Philly Sunday night. So we're gonna need you to get right. We're gonna need all the points that we can get down this road. Okay. But outside 4 points on missed field goal, outside of that, we talking touchdown, 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 and then narrow down the end of the game. 4 touchdowns. That's what you see the 28 points for. Should have been 31, but obviously missed field goal happened. So very efficient, doing what you need to do on the drives. Patriots, they had to punt a lot. They fumbled. They also threw a pick. They kicked more field goals than touchdowns. They had, I think, 1 touchdown. If I'm looking at this correctly, yes, they only scored 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. 3 field goals at that. 3 field goals. So we made them work harder than we had to work, which is always a good thing. Which means the defense is doing well. Defense caused 2 more turnovers. Young, optimistic defense making things happen. I don't like the fact that you let them find their way back into a game. We made it 6 points late in the fourth quarter, but you did get the interception at the end to ice the game, put the game in no doubt, which is always good. Now, the player statistics, Matthew Stafford, 18 for 27, 295 for a touchdown. You can't ask what's much more than that. Kerry Williams, 15 carries, 86 yards. And yet again, he has not found the end zone. But hey, these things happen. I'm gonna need Sean McVay to find a way for Kerryon Williams to get back in the end zone, averaging 5.7 yards a carry. But Matthew Stafford was so efficient in the passing game. I can't really argue with you on this one. Only 9 incompletions, 4 touchdowns, almost 300 yards passing, 10.9 yards per pass. You can't argue on this one, okay? We're talking about 142.7 rating, a QBR of 83.1. On this one, Sean McVay, I'm not mad you didn't get the ball to Carolina Williams 20 plus times. I'm not gonna be mad at you for that because Matthew Stafford, he was on one. He was definitely on one against New England Patriots. Puka Nacua, 7 catches, 123 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 6 catches, 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, very efficient. You can't be mad at it. Now, we're going to need to be balanced, but we know I'll get to that game in a minute. On the Patriots side, the rookie Drake May, 29 for 39, 282, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He only missed 10. He only had 10 incompletions. The rookie Drake May's playing very good football if you're a New England Patriots fan. I'm going to sit here and tell you, as a rookie, you should be happy that you got Drake May. Drake May looked pretty good. He looks pretty darn good. You think you got your guy at quarterback. Ramondre Stevenson, 20 carries for 73 yards. Defense is doing well in the run game right now. That's 3.7 yards a carry. This is pretty good. I like when you can stop the run game. It makes things much easier on the back end because they know they have to pass, so they know they need to be on alert. Kendrick Bourne led the receiving corps with 5 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. 1 of 2 touchdown passes from Drake May. The other one was to offensive tackle Vernon Lloyd when they did something special. Things happen like that. But nevertheless, I love what we're doing. Drake May was sacked 3 times by the Los Angeles Rams. 2 of them was by Brandon Fitz, our rookie second-round pick from Florida State University. The other one came to Brian Young. So our young defensive line, they continue to get pressure on the quarterback, add 3 more sets to them. And Cameron Kitchens with another interception. The game-sealing interception at that. Very well done. And by the way, Cam Kitchens, for the second time in 3 weeks, the NFC's Defensive Player of the Week. Cam Kitchens is a 2-time NFC Defensive Player of the Week because he got it for this performance here. Not only he had the interception, but if I'm looking at his number, he had 4 total tackles, 3 solos, 2 pass breakups. We got 2 pass breakups and the interception, which is very good to see. Very, very wonderful. The Rams did their thing. Kobe Turner had a fumble recovery. I do that fumble recovery came off of Ramondre Stevenson, if I remember correctly. Yep, came off of Drake May. The strip sack fumble at that of Drake May, where my receivers did fumble, but he was able to recover his fumble. So good job, team. Good job, fellas. Y'all did y'all thing. I'm proud of y'all. And now we're gonna get ready for Sunday night. But before we do, we're gonna take a break here. All right. And then when we come back, we're gonna look at the division, where the Rams at in the NFC. Then we're gonna preview Sunday night football.
The largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ramily Talk here on this Thursday, November 21st, 2024. We are a week away from Thanksgiving. I hope y'all getting ready to have a lovely and godly Thanksgiving. I know I am. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. You will get a Ramily Talk. You might get it the day before. You might get it on a Wednesday. You might get it on a Tuesday. Okay, so just be prepared. You're going to get it early in the week because Thanksgiving is next Thursday. So I got to do it early to make sure we get it out the way. All right. Now, before we preview the Philadelphia Eagles game, we have to look at, we are 5-5. We are second in the NFC West, right behind the Arizona Cardinals. Seahawks are also 5-5, and the 49ers are also 5-5. Here's the thing. Seahawks beat the 49ers this past weekend in Santa Clara, splitting their regular season matches one apiece. The Rams, obviously, we have beaten San Fran in our first meeting. We beat Seahawks in our first meeting, but we lost to the Cardinals in our first meeting. So we have a little uphill decline to catch the Arizona Cardinals. In the NFC as a whole, the Rams are currently 8th in the standings behind the Washington Commanders. There are 2 games above us. The Green Bay Packers, 2 games, you can might as well say 3 games above us because they beat us, so they will have to head-to-head if we was to tie with them. So instead of saying 2 games behind, we're going to say 3 games behind because they have the head-to-head battle over us. And then the Minnesota Vikings, who are 3 games above us, but we beat them, so we can catch 3. We can catch 3 games on the Minnesota Vikings. We will leapfrog them because we beat them on a Thursday night. All right. So a lot of football to be played. So we're going to see what happens. Now, Sunday night football. The Philadelphia Eagles coming to SoFi Stadium with a massive showdown coming right now. The Eagles are on a 5-game winning streak, if I remember correctly. The Rams, they got back to their winning ways after dropping that inexplicable game against the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football. Now we have a Sunday night game with the Philadelphia Eagles. As the Eagles are on a 6-game winning streak. They sit at 8-2. The Rams are 5-5. This is a massive showdown in the NFC. We met this team last year in SoFi Stadium and they beat us. They got a 9-point win over us. I think it was 24-13, something like that. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they got a 9-point win over us. And that was when they didn't have Saquon Barkley. Now they got Saquon Barkley. Now they more in danger on offense. As you can see here. 3-point favorites are the Eagles on the road. Okay. My betting people, the over under is 48.5. Money line is minus 150 for the Eagles, plus 130 for the Rams. Those are your betting numbers that you want to see right there. ESPN Analytics gives the Philadelphia Eagles I think it was like 56% chance of winning. Let me go look at it. 58.6 chance of winning, and Rams 41.1% chance of winning this game. Okay, that's how ESPN is. Jalen Hurts closing in on 2,200 passing yards with 12 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Saquon Barkley over 1,100 rushing yards, 1,137 rushing yards with 8 touchdowns. A.J. Brown 618 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns. Then on the Rams side, Matthew Stafford over 2,500 yards of passing, 2,557 passing yards, 13 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Kerryon Williams with 750 yards of rushing with 8 touchdowns. He might not have the yards that Saquon Barkley has, but he has the same amount of touchdowns that he had. That's because Jalen Hurts get most of the rushing touchdowns. If we're gonna be honest. Cooper Kupp closing in on 500 yards receiving with 4 touchdowns. It's gonna be an interesting game. You got Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith on one side. And what else? You got Matthew Stafford, Kerryon Williams, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua on the other side. Defense for both teams are playing good. Okay. Both teams are optimistic. Both teams like to turn people over, and they like to capitalize on it. All right. Now, how do we stack up with this team? That's the question. Okay. How do we stack up with them? Now, I have some numbers here that I want to show you that I did not put in the slide. But if I was to look at it right here, you have the Philadelphia Eagles. They score 25.7, almost 26 points a game. The Rams are at 21 per game. That's plus 5 Philly. Eagles are 199 passing yards. The Rams are 240. So you're talking about almost plus 49 to the Rams in passing. Rushing yards 181 to 95 in favor of the Eagles. Defensively, Eagles give up 20 points per game. The Rams give up 24. That's plus 4 on the Eagles side. So it's going to be an interesting matchup between both sides. What does Chris Shiller do to the Eagles offense? And what does the Eagles defense to the Rams offense? Because both offenses can put up points. Both offenses can be efficient. The Eagles can be efficient in the run game because they have Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. The Rams are proficient in the offense in the passing game because Matthew Stafford is slinging the ball to Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, first and foremost. Then DeMarcus Roberts can make big plays. We saw Tyler Johnson come up big when Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp were out. You have Tutu Atwell who can take top off the defense. So it's going to be a very interesting game here to see how we do. If the defense can slow down the Eagles, if the defense can turn over the Eagles, we have a very, very good chance of winning this game. The Eagles are running hot right now. They won 6 straight. They were 2-2 after 4 games, and they just whipped off 6 straight to get to 8-2. The Rams, they saw themselves at 1-4 going into the bye week. They see themselves 5-5. So they've been 4-1 since the bye week. This is going to be a very interesting game here. But we need this win. We have little room for error, and I've been saying this for a while now, but we're going to keep saying it to put the emphasis. We have little room for error. We are behind teams that already got 7 wins, but only at 5. One of which they already beat us at. They had the Green Bay Packers. The other one is the Washington Commanders, who just lost to the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday Night Football. So, Sean McVay, I need you to come up with a good offensive game plan for the Philadelphia Eagles defense. That way we can put points on the board because we're going to have to put points on the board to beat this team. Defense, Get a turnover here and there, and we're good, and we rocking and rolling. So, with that being said, I'm gonna end this right here because I don't want to take too much of your time. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Remember, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and wherever else you get your podcasts is at. Subscribe to Ramily Talk for all your Ram content. I will be here next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how the week shakes out. I'll give you your review for this week's game coming up. We're gonna preview the next game, and we're gonna see y'all after that. So until next week, enjoy your football weekend. Have a blessed one. Y'all be safe out there. And horns up. Whose house? Rams house. Let's go. For tuning into Ramily Talk. Ramily Talk is sponsored by Fanatics, Lids, and Paramount Plus. Get your favorite sports appeal with Fanatics or Lids, and get great streaming service with Paramount Plus. If you want to donate to the program, you can donate to us via Cash App, $D Playmakers. That is again, $D Playmakers. And remember, you can follow and subscribe to Ramily Talk on all podcast directories, including Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. And those of you who are on Apple, leave us a great review, leave comments on how you feel about Ramily Talk and the episode that you listen to. Tune in again next time for more Ramily Talk, hosted by the Playmakers.